The Keychron K8 is one of the most popular mechanical keyboards on the market, and after a week of working on it full time, I think I know why. This particular keyboard was sent out to me by Kechron for review, but they're also giving one away to a viewer based in the UK. I'll let you know how to enter that draw towards the end of the video. The reason the Keychron K8 has such broad appeal is because it includes all of the core features you'd expect from a mechanical keyboard at a very fair price. Out of the box you'll get an option of red, blue or brown Kechron switches, but these are hot swappable, so you'll be able to customize your keyboard further if your interest in the hobby develops and you want to try out something new later down the line. The keyboard operates in either a wired or Bluetooth setting, and it will pair with up to 3 different devices. So you want to switch from your work computer over to a gaming PC later in the evening, no hassle at all. And under the hood, it's well equipped to appeal to both use cases as well, with the 1000Hz polling rate that makes it really snappy for gaming. With a wide range of RGB sequences and colours available, you can also alter the appearance of your keyboard depending on the mood you're in. If you do switch on the RGB mode, your battery life is going to take a hit. According to Keychron, it can last up to 240 hours of typing without the RGBs on. That goes down to 72 hours of writing with the RGB lights on. Now that's still enough to get you through a working week, and if you're using the keyboard in Bluetooth mode, it will actually go into kind of a rest mode if you don't use it for a given amount of time, and that means that it does kind of save battery when you're away from your desk. Usually in this more budget friendly range, manufacturers will produce keyboards with some build quality sacrifices to achieve that lower price point. One thing I really like about the Keychron K8 is that while there is quite a lot of visible plastic on display, it also has the option to include an aluminium frame, which just lifts it slightly and makes it feel a little bit more elegant. That aluminium is a little bit smudgy, so you will have to keep a cloth handy if you want to keep it in pristine condition. One feature of the frame which might divide opinion is that the screws are exposed and you can also see where the different panels have slotted together. I actually quite like this. I think it makes it look a little bit more industrial and gives it a little bit more grit compared to a completely whitewashed keyboard. However, there might be people who really like that singular frame of aluminium and will want to go for something that just looks a little bit more smooth. I tend to gravitate towards lighter, more playful colorways in tech, so a black keyboard is something relatively new to me. However, I do think that it gives it a very professional vibe, and one of the issues you do have with some mechanical keyboards is that the design is so strong they become the focal point of any desk setup. Whereas with this one, I feel like it can quite easily blend in with the rest of the technology you've got on your desk and be a lot more unassuming and potentially give other devices a chance to shine. The escape key is a very vibrant orange, which does offer a really nice pop of colour to the keyboard. One thing I'm not necessarily a huge fan of is that the LED indicators for battery, Bluetooth and caps lock are bunched together between the arrow keys and the navigational keys. On many other TKL designs, you'll see this portion lifted up a bit, so you have one level surface across the whole keyboard. And the result here is that you basically can see underneath the navigational keycaps to the switches beneath. Now that might actually be quite a cool design if it's something you're into, but for me, I think it does take away from the overall look and feel of the keyboard. One thing that is really smart though about this design is that the USB-C power input is located on the left-hand side of the keyboard, along with your buttons to switch between Mac and Windows, or Bluetooth, wired and off. The K8 comes with a right-angled USB-C cable, which looks really smart when it trails off from the keyboard. Underneath you'll also find a set of rubber feet with 2 height settings, which means you can set the keyboard at the height which is most comfortable for you. Another really cool option, especially for gamers, is that it is VIA compatible. Keychron has a software service called Cloud Drive that allows you to create new key bindings online without having to download any additional software, and that's also a really nice feature. I'm going to take you into a sound test in just a moment, but if you are interested in entering that giveaway, all you have to do is sign up to my newsletter, link in the description. I'll be picking a winner at random this week, and then I'll put you in touch with the Keychron UK team who will be able to organise your delivery. I'd love to know how you think this keyboard sounds in the comments. On this particular one, I went for the Keychron red switches, which are a lot quieter than something like the blue or brown options. It's definitely not the most thocky or unique sound profile out there, but I think it gives you a really nice middle ground between having something that does provide a bit of auditory feedback and being quiet enough to work in an office environment or do a lot of typing away, taking notes as you're in a Zoom call. In general, it's just a really comfortable keyboard that will allow you to type at long periods without getting too tired. And whereas some mechanical keyboards really demand your attention in terms of the feedback they offer, this one, it sort of gets out of the way and lets you get on with your job. It's easy to see why the K8 is such a popular keyboard. It does all of the basics really well, is much more reliable than a lot of group buy mechanical keyboards that might come in a condition you cannot really predict. And to be fair, it does have a bit of an industrial edge to it, which I personally like. Thanks again to Keychron for sending this out for review, especially for that giveaway. And check out this video next if you want to learn more about mechanical keyboards.